Imagine a peaceful morning, disturbed by an unimaginable discovery. It was December 1, 1948, on Somerton Beach, a serene stretch of coastline near Adelaide, Australia. A man was found dead, his body lying peacefully against the seawall. There were no obvious signs of violence, no struggle, nothing to suggest a dramatic end. He simply appeared to be asleep, yet he was gone. This wasn't just a tragedy, it was the opening act of one of history's most perplexing and enduring puzzles, a case that has baffled investigators for over 3/4 of a century, captivating minds worldwide. What made this man's death so profoundly mysterious wasn't just the lack of a clear cause, but the utter absence of any identifying information. He carried no wallet, no identification papers, not even a single personal letter. His clothing, though well-maintained, offered no clues to his origin or name. It was as if he had simply materialized on that beach, a ghost in human form. The local police, accustomed to straightforward cases, found themselves facing a blank slate, a man without a past, leaving behind only questions. The initial examination yielded little, but the investigators were meticulous. When they searched his clothes, a small, tightly rolled piece of paper was discovered hidden in a secret fob pocket sewn into his trousers. It was barely an inch long, a scrap torn from a book. Printed on it, in a distinctive typeface, were two foreign words, Tamam Shud. These words, seemingly innocuous, would ignite a global search for answers, transforming a local death into an international enigma. This tiny slip of paper was the first, and perhaps most crucial, breadcrumb in a trail leading nowhere. The words Tamam Shud are Persian, and their meaning is profoundly simple, yet chilling: it is finished. To truly understand its significance, investigators embarked on an extensive linguistic and literary quest. They eventually traced the fragment to the final page of a very specific, rare edition of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of 11th-century Persian poems. This wasn't just any book, it was a philosophical work contemplating life, death, and destiny. The discovery of its origin didn't solve the mystery, instead, it deepened it immeasurably, hinting at a deliberately chosen farewell, or a final, cryptic message. Just days after the discovery, a man came forward, claiming he found a copy of the Rubaiyat, a first edition from 1859, in the back seat of his unlocked car, which had been parked near Somerton Beach around the time the man's body was found. This book was missing its final page, precisely where the Tamam Shud slip would have been torn. Was this a coincidence, or the crucial link? The book was quickly handed over to the police, becoming a central piece of evidence, yet it raised more questions than answers. Who owned this book, and how did it end up in an unlocked car? Inside the retrieved Rubaiyat, investigators found something even more astonishing: faint, handwritten letters on the back cover. These weren't casual notes, but a series of seemingly random letters arranged in distinct, structured lines. This appeared to be a code, a cipher meticulously inscribed within the very book linked to the dead man. Was it a message? A list of names? A set of instructions? The police, and later code-breaking experts, tried to decipher it. The problem was, without a key, the message remained stubbornly locked away, a silent testament to a secret life. Among the coded letters, investigators did manage to identify what appeared to be a local phone number. This led them to a young woman named Jessica Thompson, also known as Jo. She lived very close to Somerton Beach. When shown a bust of the deceased man, she reportedly became visibly distressed, even fainting, yet she insisted she didn't know him. Her connection, if any, remains one of the most hotly debated aspects of the case. Was she a secret lover, an informant, or an innocent bystander caught in a web of intrigue? Her reaction only intensified the mystery. One of the most compelling theories posits that the Somerton Man was a spy, caught in the early days of the Cold War. Australia, a key Western ally, would have been a target for intelligence gathering. The coded message, the lack of identification, and the unusual circumstances of his death all align with the tactics of espionage. Perhaps he was on a mission, or attempting to defect, and was silenced before he could reveal his true purpose. This narrative paints him as a pawn in a larger global game, his identity erased to protect state secrets. Supporting the spy theory is the unusual detail that some of his clothing tags were missing, suggesting they had been deliberately removed. The contents of his suitcase, discovered months later at a train station, also lacked any personalizing items, containing only clothes, toiletries, and a few seemingly innocuous tools that could have had dual uses. Furthermore, the rubaiyat, a popular gift item, could have served as a prearranged signal or a dead drop indicator for agents. Such meticulous efforts to obscure identity are hallmarks of intelligence operations, leaving investigators to wonder who he truly worked for or against. Another prominent theory suggests a romantic connection gone terribly wrong. Perhaps the Somerton Man was involved in a secret love affair, one that ended tragically. The Tamam Shud message, meaning "it is finished," could be a final, desperate farewell note, echoing the themes of unrequited love often found in the rubaiyat. The mysterious woman, Jessica Thompson, becomes central to this theory. If their relationship was illicit or dangerous, it might explain the lengths taken to conceal his identity, and the circumstances surrounding his death, perhaps even pointing to a suicide pact or a fatal lover's quarrel. The initial autopsy found no obvious cause of death, but the medical examiner noted an enlarged spleen and congested organs. They also detected unusual blood pooling, hinting at poisoning. Substances like digitalis, a powerful cardiac glycoside, could induce symptoms matching those observed, yet leave little trace in a 1948 forensic examination. If he was poisoned, was it self-administered in a desperate act, or was he murdered? This theory raises the terrifying possibility of a meticulously planned assassination, leaving no physical evidence beyond the body itself, and fueling the spy narrative once again. Could the truth be far less dramatic? Perhaps the Somerton Man was simply an ordinary individual, caught in extraordinary circumstances. What if he accidentally fell ill, died on the beach, and his identity was obscured by a series of bizarre coincidences? The missing labels, the hidden paper, the coded book, could these all have innocent explanations that have been misinterpreted through the lens of mystery? This theory challenges us to consider whether our desire for a dramatic solution has blinded us to a simpler, albeit equally tragic, reality. But the sheer accumulation of odd details makes this difficult to accept. For decades, the case of the Somerton Man remained cold, a persistent whisper in the annals of unsolved mysteries. Without a name, without a definitive cause of death, and with a coded message that resisted all attempts at decryption, the file grew thicker with theories but thinner on facts. The passage of time meant witnesses faded, memories blurred, and potential evidence deteriorated. It became a compelling academic exercise for cryptographers and historians, a riddle passed down through generations of investigators, each one hoping to be the one to finally crack the code and give the man his name back. In the 21st century, a new hope emerged: DNA technology. After years of advocacy, permission was finally granted to exhume the Somerton Man's remains in 2021. The goal was simple yet profound: extract DNA, build a genetic profile, and match him to living relatives, finally giving him an identity. This modern forensic technique, unavailable in 1948, holds the potential to pierce through the veil of secrecy and silence that has shrouded this case for so long. It's a race against time, as the samples are delicate and the path to a conclusive match is complex and arduous. Recent DNA efforts have indeed yielded significant breakthroughs. In 2022, a researcher claimed to have identified the man as Carl Webb, an electrical engineer and former baker from Melbourne, using genetic genealogy. While this identification is not yet officially confirmed by the police, it has opened new avenues of investigation. However, even if his identity is confirmed, it doesn't automatically answer the how or why of his death. The coded message, the rare book, the mysterious woman, these elements still demand explanation, pushing us to continue our quest for a full understanding of his final moments. The story of the Somerton Man is a testament to the enduring power of mystery. A man died, his identity meticulously erased. A secret message, Tamam Shud, was found. A coded book, hinting at deeper secrets, surfaced from the shadows. Yet, for all our modern technology and relentless investigation, a definitive, universally accepted explanation remains elusive. We have pieced together fragments, pursued tantalizing leads, and debated theories, but the complete picture, the full truth of his life and death, continues to evade us. It is a story that refuses to be finished. The Somerton Man remains one of the world's most fascinating unsolved mysteries, a poignant reminder that some secrets are buried deep, perhaps forever. Was he a Cold War spy, silenced on foreign shores? Was he a heartbroken lover, enacting a tragic farewell? Or was he simply an ordinary man caught in a cruel twist of fate? What do you think happened on Somerton Beach that December morning? Share your theories, your insights, and your questions in the comments below. Let's continue the conversation, for the pursuit of truth, even in the face of uncertainty, is a journey we take together.